Kapag naririnig ko po yung salitang mental health, ang una po pumapasok sa isip ko is yung anxiety and depression. Kasama na rin po yung suicide.
Mental health? Jowa ko, may topak yun eh.
Mental health? Di ba yun sa Mandaluyong?
Mental health? Di ba pang baliw yun?
When we hear the words mental health, what first comes to mind is mental illness, whether we would like to admit it or not. Why does that happen? It is partly an influence of society or what they have experienced themselves, both personally or with people they know. Most of us only become more mindful of it when poor mental health or a mental illness affects our lives in an adverse way. However, we need to realize that mental health is more than that. And today is the day to start thinking of something good and not something with an immediate negative connotation. Hi class, I'm Teacher Mark and welcome to our special episode about mental health. Join me as we uncover your limitless potential. Let's rock! This is Personal Development on DepEd TV. Our mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It greatly affects our thoughts, feelings, and actions. A good state of mental health allows us to handle stress in a more positive way so we're able to manage it better, and it enhances the way we relate and connect with others, as well as serving as a solid foundation for making sound decisions. It is vital at every stage of our life, from childhood to adolescence, all the way to adulthood. There are a lot of misunderstandings and harmful attitudes that surround mental health. That's why some of us ignore mental health and worsen the stigma about mental illness. This makes it harder for people experiencing mental conditions to reach out for help. Try to take the following quiz and see if you can separate the myths from the facts. Number 1. Poor mental health increases the risk of long-lasting or chronic physical conditions like A. Heart disease, B. Stroke, C. Cancer, D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Poor mental health increases the risk of long-lasting or chronic physical conditions like heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Number 2. Mental illness are A. Very common, B. Not very common, C. Fairly common. The correct answer is A. Although mental illness is very common, it isn't common for most people to admit that there is a problem. For various reasons, individuals who have psychological disorders or simply battle with their mental health, often they hesitate to come forward. Data from the DOH shows that in the Philippines, 3.3 million Filipinos suffer from depressive disorders, with suicide rates in 2.5 males and 1.7 females per 100,000. Number 3. Mental illness, A. Cannot be treated, or B. Can be treated. The correct answer is B. Research shows that people with mental illness can get better and many recover completely. Number 4. Mental health is A. More than the absence of mental disorder, B. Only important for some people, C. An important part of overall health and well-being. The correct answer is C. Mental health is an important part of overall health and well-being. Number 5. If you know someone with poor mental health, you can help by A. Reaching out and letting them know how help is available, B. Help them access mental health services, C. Learning and sharing the facts about mental health, especially if you hear something that isn't true, D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. If you know someone with poor mental health, you can help by reaching out and letting them know that help is available. Helping them access mental health service and learning and sharing the facts about mental health, especially if you hear something that isn't true. Number 6. People with mental illness are violent. Is it true or false? The correct answer is false. The vast majority of people with mental illness are no more likely to be violent than anyone else. In fact, people with mental illness are more likely to be victims of violent crime than the general population. Number 7. Half of all mental illness occurs before a person turns blank years old, and 3/4 of mental illness begin before age 24. Is it A, 14, B, 18, C, 10? The correct answer is A. Half of all mental illness occurs before a person turns 14 years old, and 3/4 of mental illness begin before age 24. Number 8. Mental illness is caused by A. Personal weakness, B. Lack of willpower, C. A number of factors including biological, stressful, or traumatic life events, and long-lasting health conditions, such as heart disease or cancer. The correct answer is C. Mental illness is caused by a number of factors including biological, stressful, or traumatic life events, and long-lasting health conditions, such as heart disease or cancer. Number 9. World Mental Health Day is observed on what month every year? Is it A. October, B. November, C. December? If your answer is A. October, awesome! World Mental Health Day is observed on 10th of October every year, with the overall objective of raising awareness of mental health issues around the world and mobilizing efforts in support of mental health. For our last question, who signed Proclamation Number 452 declaring second week of October as National Mental Health Week? Is it A. President Fidel V. Ramos, B. President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo? If your answer is A, you are correct. National Mental Health Week is celebrated every second week of October pursuant to Proclamation Number 452, which was signed by former President Fidel V. Ramos in 1994. On 21st of June 2018, President Rodrigo Duterte signed the landmark Mental Health Act, the first mental health act legislation in the Philippines. Did you get 10 over 10? Great job! Let's get back to our lesson. Any discussion about mental health will not be complete without touching on depression. Have you ever felt or know anyone who feels depressed? I bet that you know someone. This is a very serious matter, which I know you might have heard, or you may even know someone who might have experienced it right now. Sad to say, but there's an increasing numbers of people who are depressed, especially now during the pandemic. Depression is one of the leading causes of disability and greatly affects your age group that more often choose end their problem or circumstance by committing suicide. For us to understand depression better, let us watch this short film.
Oh, Joseph, anak! Andito ka na pala. Bakit? Ba't parang ang lungkot mo? Problema ba? Wow! Ang tataas ng grades mo! Bakit parang ang lungkot mo pa rin? Kailangan natin mag-celebrate!
Ma, wag na. Walang rason para mag-celebrate.
Ano wala? Eh, ang tataas kayo ng mga grades mo. Mas matataas pa nga ito nung last grading mo eh. Pihado, kasama ka na naman sa top.
Top 2 lang.
Eh, ano namang masama doon?
Sigurado akong bababa na naman ang tingin sa akin ng papa. Kasi hindi ako ang top 1 sa class. May mas magaling na sa akin.
Anak, hindi naman siguro. Anak! Anak! Joseph!
Joseph, always be on top. Huwag mong hahayaang maagaw ng iba ang pwesto mo. Dapat palagi kang nangunguna. Ang mama mo, summa cum laude. Ako, top-notcher sa board exam. Walang nasa baba sa pamilya natin. So make us proud, okay?
Anak, pinagdala kita ng pagkain. Hindi ka kasi sumabay sa amin ng papa mo kanina. Pinaghanda kita ng mga paborito mo. Anak, alam ko gising ka pa.
Hindi ako nagugutom.
Baka magkasakit ka niyan.
Like Joseph, everyone goes through periods of deep sadness. This feeling usually fade away within a few days or weeks depending on the circumstances. But profound sadness that lasts more than 2 weeks and affects our ability to function may be a sign of depression. Some of the common symptoms of depression are deep feelings of sadness and dark moods. Some may also feel worthless and hopeless. A number of people report a loss of appetite, a lack of energy, inability to concentrate, and change in their sleeping patterns. Some may also have difficulty getting through their normal activities or show a lack of interest in things they used to enjoy. Let's continue watching our short film for us to know more about the different types of depression.
Hindi pa ba gising si Joseph? Tanghali na. Mawala na siya sa basketball training niya.
Baka ready na yun. Okay na siya. Sandali lang ha. Aakyatin ko. Oo, narito na pala yung anak mo. Kumusta naman ang nakapagtulog mo? Okay ka ba? Nakatulog ka ba?
Yan na dapat tinatanong niya sa kanya. Alam naman niya may training siya ngayon. Dapat kinondisyonan niya ang katawan niya. Hindi ba bigay ng class guard ng kahapon? Nakita na daw kung paring Jason yung sa kinakapatid mo si Alan. Nasaan na yun sa'yo?
Magugulat ka? Sa taas ng grades ng anak mo, ang tataas. At, alam mo ba, mas mataas pa nung first quarter niya.
Okay, dapat lang. Hindi biro ang tuition niya ngayon. Konsuelo na lang natin yung makakuha siya mataas marka at maging top sa class.
Okay na naman yung may matataas na grade siya. Bonus na yung kasama siya sa top.
Alam naman ang anak mo kung anong achieve natin ng estudyante pa tayo. Kaya dapat ganun din siya. Kanina lang siya nagmana kung hindi siya magta-top 1.
Pa, top 2 lang po ako ngayon sa recorder.
Mahalaga pa rin naman, matataas pa rin ang grades niya. Hindi siya nawawala sa top 2. So, mataas pa rin naman yun, di ba? At saka, kahit nga ang dami niyang extracurricular activities, nahigitan pa na ang kanyang marka nung first quarter niya, di ba? So, okay na rin naman yun.
Pero nahigitan siya na ibang tao. Kontento ka na nalagpasan ng anak mo?
Pero, ginagawa naman ni Joseph ang best niya.
Best na ba yung top 2? Hanggang doon na lang ba ang kaya mo?
Hindi po. Pag-iigihan ko po sa third quarter.
Huwag mong pag-igihan. Galingan mo. Sa pamilya natin, walang mahina. Ang kulang sa'yo, focus kung ano-ano kasi pinagagawa mo. Yung pagpipinta mo, hindi ka man yayaman dyan. Kung ang nilalaan mong oras sa mga bagay na yan ay pinag-aaral mo at ipinagtitraining mo, edi sana hindi ka na nagpasan.
Pagpasensyahan mo na ang papa mo. Alam mo namang ginagawa niya lang ito para sa ikabubuti mo.
Lahat ginawa ko para sa kanya. Lahat ng makakaya ko, ginawa ko para ma-meet ang mga expectations niya. Ginawa ko lahat yun para maging proud kayo sa akin.
Proud naman ako sa'yo. Super proud pa nga. At alam ko, proud din sa'yo ang papa mo. Ginagawa nilang to para mas gawin mo ang best mo.
Joseph experiences depression because he feels that he has failed his dad's expectations. In spite of all his efforts, he feels that he's still not good enough. This type of depression depends on the number and severity of symptoms. A depressive episode can be categorized as mild, moderate, and severe. A person with mild depressive episode will have some difficulty in continuing with ordinary work and social activities, but will probably not cease to function completely. During a severe depressive episode, it is unlikely that the sufferer will be able to continue with social work or domestic activities except to a limited extent. Joseph tries hard to be on top again. He focuses all his time on studying, hoping that he could win his dad's heart. At the end of the third quarter, Joseph gets the top 1 rank back. However, his dad's reaction isn't what he was expecting. His dad seems to no longer value his skills and somehow think of him as inferior compared to what he was before. This makes Joseph feels that he is no longer of value to his families and his sense of self-worth decreases.
Anak, hindi ka na naman kumain. Hindi ka naman sumabay sa amin ng papa mo kanina.
Tinatapos ko lang po itong painting ko. After homework ko lang po ito nagagawa. Kasi ito na po nagiging silbing hinga ko sa dami ng gawain sa school.
Pero anak, ilang linggo ka nang hindi naaarawan. Wala pa kayong lakad ng mga kaibigan mo? Ginagawa mo ng kulungan itong kwarto mo. Anak, okay ka lang ba? Uy, andito lang ako kapag kailangan mo ng kausap.
Ma, okay lang ako.
Sigurado ka? Para kasing merong sakit sa dibdib mo.
Ma, okay lang ako! Hayaan niyo na, ma. Kakainin ko po ito. Hayaan niyo muna po ako.
What Joseph has is a recurrent depressive disorder, which involves repeated depressive episodes. During these episodes, the person experiences a depressed mood, loss of interest and enjoyment, and reduced energy, leading to diminished activity for at least 2 weeks. Many people with depression also suffer from anxiety symptoms, disturbed sleep, and a loss of appetite. They may have feelings of guilt or low self-worth, poor concentration, and even symptoms that cannot be explained by a medical diagnosis.
Dok, kumusta naman po si Joseph?
Based po dun sa ginawa naming assessment, nakita po namin na merong sintomas ng bipolar affective disorder si Joseph. Ito po yung dahilan kung bakit babago-bago at minsan ang limit niyang magbago ng kanyang mood.
Kaya pala, nagugulat na lang ako kasi bigla-bigla na siyang nagkukulong sa kwarto. Tapos biglang ang saya-saya. Paglabas niya, parang walang nangyari. Ganun pala yun.
Opo, ganun po talaga yung nararamdaman nung may mga ganitong kondisyon. From the highs of mania on one extreme to the lows of depression on the other.
Eh, ano pong aming gagawin? Magiging okay pa po bang anak ko? Kawawa naman ang anak natin.
Huminahon ka muna. Kaya natin dinala si Joseph dito ay para malaman natin kung paano imamanage ang anak natin. Dok, may kailangan po bang pagdaan ng mga therapy si Joseph?
Sa ganito pong case, kagaya ng kay Joseph, he needs a lifelong treatment with medication to guide his recovery. Pero sa ngayon po, mas kailangan niya po kayo, yung mga magulang niya, at yung buong family niya. Kailangan niya rin po ng suporta sa kanyang mga kaibigan, sa lahat ng mga nagmamahal sa kanya para mas magabayan po siya at mas mabilis yung maging recovery niya. At this moment po, he needs encouragement as the sense of his fulfillment and success.
Kasalanan ko to. Kung hindi ko sana siya pinressure sa mga expectations ko sa kanya, hindi sana mahihirapan ng ganito ang anak natin. Simula ngayon, susuportahan ko na siya sa pagpipinta niya. Alam kong ito lang yung outlet niya kapag nalulungkot siya. Mas ipaparamdam ko kung gaano ko siya kamahal at kung gaano ko siya pinagmamalaki. Babawi talaga ako sa kanya.
Ba? Umiiyak ka, ma?
Hindi, wala to. Ano, ready ka na ba?
Opo, tara na po.
Tara.
Sige po, Dok.
Salamat
Maraming
po.
salamat.
Thank you very much po, Joseph.
Remember that mental health is more than the absence of mental disorders. It is a state of well-being in which we realize our own abilities in coping with the normal stresses of life, working productively, and being valuable to our community. The global community acknowledges the importance of mental health as part of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, specifically Goal number 3, that focuses on ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all at all ages. Here are some known indicators of mental health. Emotional well-being. It includes life satisfaction, happiness, cheerfulness, and a state of peace deep within us. Psychological well-being. That includes self-acceptance, personal growth, including openness to new experiences, optimism, hopefulness, purpose in life, control of one's environment, spirituality, self-direction, and positive relationships. And social well-being. This includes social acceptance, belief in the potential of people and society, personal self-worth, and usefulness to society, and a sense of community. Our mental health is an integral part of health. Indeed, there is no health without mental health. It is fundamental to our collective and individual ability as humans to think, emote, interact with each other, earn a living, and enjoy life. It is your task to cope with stress and manage your mental health. Having good mental health means that you are stable enough to face challenges brought about by the different circumstances of our daily lives. Even when you feel that you're at a low point in your life, you can bounce back. Before we end our episode today, let me share the 10 commandments of mental health from Positive Men. Think positively. It's easier. Cherish the ones you love. Continue learning as long as you live. Learn from your mistakes. Exercise daily. It enhances your well-being. Do not complicate your life unnecessarily. Try to understand and encourage those around you. Do not give up. Success in life is a marathon. Discover and nurture your talents. Set goals for yourself and pursue your dreams. It is okay not to be okay. Break the stigma. Take care of your mental health. You are not alone. Be gentle with yourself. This is Teacher Mark. I see greatness in you. Know your worth and make a habit of developing yourself and be your best version every day. See you in our next episode on personal development on DepEd TV.